interference. Maybe it's causing interference. Okay, is it working? Okay, is it working? Right, let's see if it works. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Greg, and so pretty much what I'm here to teach you about today. And I got my creatures here to just kind of like to play interference with you. For the most part, I just want to say, hey everybody, I hope everybody's doing well on this fine December 23rd, 2023. A lot of things happened on this day. It's a very historic day for me and my family. Well, I'll tell you more about it as we get into it. So right here you have Argus, and Argus just want to take control of the thing, and I'm going to have to tell him to get away. Say, now I will do what I please. Okay, we're going to just tell you to go over there because there's candy and cookies and stuff over there. Okay, go get some candies and cookies. He likes candies and cookies. But this one here doesn't like candies and cookies. He likes honey and stuff because he's a different one. He is Murder Hornet. And Murder Hornets like to, mess with the media and stuff. So he's the metal things and interferences over here. Let me see if I can just clear the signal a little bit better. Ladies and gentlemen, what I intend to do today, I intend to take care of some of these creatures and talk to you about things as it happens. So, ladies and care of some of these creatures and talk to you about things as it happens. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to just make sure that you guys are here and I can see what you're saying because it's this is Sammy with two eyes because he has an eye in his eye right there and his eye in his chest. So I see you, he sees you. It's Sammy. And also what happens is this one here from the thumbnail, you have this guy here is Croc Doc, or Dr. Croc, whatever. And so he's pretty much, I'm gonna do a repaint on him because what happened was like I was giving him some white paint to make him all nice and just better signal. And so I'm gonna just go ahead and have I'm gonna go ahead and work on making things more distinct so you can actually see what it's like to have me paint a gremlin. This week was a very for yours truly, and I don't know. In the spirit of my mom, we have like so many cool things that we do. And one of the things that is that we do art. A lot of the art stuff we do, as well as compassion and being there for people. That's one of the major things there. So anyway, so what happens? What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and start painting him and giving him more of a paint type situation. Right? You have this here with I'm gonna use an FX paint. I'm gonna go ahead and just paint him up because what happens is, right? See, when I put a coat on him, his colors got like faded, so I'm just gonna sharpen up his colors, right? Give him a sharpened color. And also same thing with Sammy with two eyes. Yeah, I'm gonna give him some more. Here is Croc Doc, and I'm gonna go ahead and paint him before I lose my signal again. Go. Is black. The color is actually called Carbon. See right there, it says Carbon. So it's Carbon, which is really see right here, it's really nice, really black and cool. So I'm gonna put this here so it doesn't spill. All right, so after that, we're gonna go ahead and put this here. We're gonna start working on him. I'm just gonna work on his color. Right. I'm just gonna make the colors a little bit more pronounced, a little more uniform, as opposed to being so. Okay, so I'm reconnecting again. So let's see what goes. This here is Croc Doc, right? Talking here about stuff, and one was just one of those things where you just kind of just kind of sit there and you're just kind of working out and talking about stuff. No. This masking tape art is it's different from many other types of art because for one, it's like it's so simple. It's not just here trying to get this thing painted because what I'm trying to do, trying to tell the story as I'm painting this thing. This is my grandma Croc Doc, or Doc Croc, whatever. And so what happens is like the reason I call him that because he crocodile eyes. Here am I. This light is killing me here. All right, cool. So, all right. So now we're gonna try this again. This here is Croc Doc, and I'm gonna go ahead and paint him. And so I'm gonna paint him because what happens is when I was giving him a paint over, I put a little bit too much white paint on him, so I gotta give some more black paint so he can finish up his art and the details therein. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start painting. I think it's a little bit better now. Maybe it's a better, location, higher up and better than it was before. I guess we'll just find out. Today is December 23rd. December 23rd, 2023. And what is the significance about today is that this is my second year doing DoorDash. And so as a DoorDash driver, what happens is that I've been driving and I did approximately almost 2,050 trips I've done, which is May not be that much to some people, but to me that's a lot because imagine all the different excitement things I had to go through in order to explain that to people. You know, because you don't have stories if you don't have nothing to tell. If you haven't gone through stuff, if you have no if you haven't lived, you have no stories to tell. You can kind of make stuff up, I guess, but you like you haven't really lived until you actually live. So that what's happened is that I haven't logged on in it today, so I don't know what's up for grabs. I don't know what's going to be on the roster for. So what happens is like I'm going to go out and drive in a little while, but I just wanted to say a few things. Today is also a very important day in my life. Family situation happened 11 years ago. One of my friends passed away today, and so her name was Jeanette, and she was a good friend of mine. Well, we went to Bible school together, and she had seizures. She had seizures. So today is the 11-year anniversary of that on this day, December 23rd. So it's the same day of me driving DoorDash for the very first time 2 years ago. It was also the day when my friend went to meet Jesus, you know, um, eh, um, 11 years ago. So that's something there. But here, what I'm doing, I'm going to go ahead and just paint this gremlin up. I'm going to give him some more better details. So this is Croc Doc here, as you can see. Please definitely write me something in the chat. I love talking to people. I want to just kind of talk about some stuff. And my message today is about if you want to get food, you better tip. You know, if you don't tip, if you don't tip, you can't guarantee you're gonna get your food. Now in New York, they've been doing different things here with DoorDash. What has happened is that they've actually taken the opportunity to invent a new thing. I've been talking about it for some weeks now, where they're doing a trial run on us to see what we're going to do. I think it's a step one before they're trying to push everybody to become like employees. See, the thing is, like, they want you to be an employee, and we're independent contractors, which means we're not employees. And the reason why many of us take this job is not to become employees. We take it because we want to be independent. The whole fact of being able to sit here and paint and do this or spend time with my family, especially this holiday season with Christmas and everything. Now that's something you get a chance to do. But if you work in a regular W-2 job, we call those regular W-2 job, where you get like your taxes taken out and half your tax goes to the Uncle Sam, and the other half goes to the other half that the employer pays goes to Uncle Sam too. That way you're getting charged instead of the full 15%, you're getting charged 7%. And so what happens is like you're going through depends on what state you're in, and depends on because some states don't have income tax. But here in New York, the greatest city, we have income tax. Yes, we do, and that makes it terrible actually, because we shouldn't even have income tax. According to I was listening to Ben David. If you get a chance to listen to him, Patrick Ben David, he did this thing about the taxes, and that blew my mind. He said about whenever there was a tax, it was always in regards to war. So guess what? America became a war hawk, always looking for war to get more taxes out of people. So yeah, industrial complex. Nevertheless, that's what we are, America, the military industrial complex, always looking for more and more war. So So anyway, long story short, what happened was my friend passed away, and pretty much she knew Jesus as her savior. So we're confident we'll see her again in glory. Glory meaning heaven, heaven where God is, where His Son. The Bible says when Jesus rose from the dead, He ascended into heaven. Okay, to heaven. He rose from the dead. And why did He die? Because they killed Him. How did they kill Him? They crucified Him. Why did they crucify Him? For us. So when we talk about Christmas, we talk about the birth of Jesus. But here, also remember, don't forget to talk about the resurrection. The resurrection is the most important part because anybody can die, but Jesus rose from the dead. So here, this is gonna give him some more details. See what happens. This right, he's this is my gremlin, and I don't call him gremlin, I call him greglins because they have 4 fingers as opposed to the three fingers of a regular gremlin. And when you really kind of think about it, I mean, Gremlins was a fun movie in terms of like the second one. The first one was really a horror movie. The first one was a horror movie. The second one is actually a way better movie. So let's talk about stuff, shall we? Let's talk. Let's see. Here it is. He's getting better. His colors are becoming more defined, and so I'm using FX Paint to paint him. And as I'm painting him, so I'm talking about my days. One thing I found out this week was I did DoorDash like probably twice this week. I didn't do as much as I could because I had a lot of classes I was teaching. So because of that, the classes took winded me really badly, and also I got money other ways instead of DoorDash, praise God. So I was able to kind of take a little break. But I'm definitely have to get back on the ball if I want to partake of that $29 thing. If in New York they have this thing with DoorDash, that if you drive, right? If you drive and you maintain your driving, what happens is that as long as you're active, you get bumped up to $29 an hour. which is great. So if you think about that, that's actually a really wonderful thing because for all the years I've been driving DoorDash, which is 2 years in this day, it was a very tough stride. I put a lot of strain, a lot of stress on my car, and when you put strain and stress in your car, you have to fix that strain and stress you put on your car because the car is not a self-healing machine, at least not yet. But soon, you never can tell because you're not sure what they're going to do in the future. But if your car is self-healing, instead of them trying to get rid of it with this whole Agenda 2030, what ended up happening is that you're faced with a situation where you are actually in the process of your car has to be repaired every so often. I'm actually due for an oil change, so I'm looking for a nice warm day to do this because it's been kind of cold lately. But anyway, so I'm about 1,000 miles over my last oil change, which I did myself, and which I'm really proud for about because if you don't do your own oil changes, somebody else is going to do it for you, and it's almost roughly the same to do your own oil change as it is to do have somebody do it for you, except that you don't have to pay tax and you actually have the sense of feeling that you did it yourself, which is great, again, which is great. So here's the back there. I'm going to see if I can just level it up some. Yeah, the back. All right, let's see, level it up, make it nice and even. Croc doc. I wonder what kind of patterns I'm doing. I'm not sure what kind of patterns I'm doing actually. This is his own style. This is his own style of pattern. So there you have it like that. So when you look at this guy here, you see that he is a very interesting fellow. Because why I came to call him that again, I told you because of the movie. We're watching the animated series. We're watching about Guy Croc, who I don't understand why he is what he is. He's some kind of experiment that got out. I don't know. They never quite explained that about his life. I gotta look it up. There's those marvelous videos and marvelous videos that talk about everything. They might have one on Croc. Who knows? But he has to be some kind of experiment or mutation or something, or maybe he's born that way. Anyway, so for the most part, though, you have that where he's some kind of weird-looking creature, but he has the biting force of a crocodile, so he's able to bite through chains. I'm like, dude, who could bite? If you could bite through chains, you got pretty strong jaws, bro. You know what I'm saying? Huh?
Bite through bone.
Bite through bone, bite through chains. I know. I mean, I don't know. You definitely, if you're organic thing, you definitely hurt yourself, biting through a chain, because a chain doesn't, it's like my sister always said about there's certain things that give way, and other things that don't give way. And metal doesn't give way unless it's weak metal or unless you use heat, then it gets soft and pliable. But for the most part, though, when you have most metal doesn't give way. So what ends up happening is that the thing that's weaker than metal usually gives way first. So that'll be your teeth or your jaw, or your bones or whatever. So that's one thing there. All right, so we have him. So we have so far. All right, let me see if I can just go ahead and just kind of get him just all figured out here and painted. My wet armpits. So we have that. So yeah, for the most part though. All right, so I haven't been talking much, have I? No, let me just kind of explain a little something here. What's going on? So we had a very interesting week. I got a chance to spend time teaching kids how to do this cool masking tape art form, which is I learned this. I became aware of it through another YouTuber named Marcos Makes because the channel. He's pretty cool. But for the most part though, he makes dinosaurs and he makes dinosaurs. He makes all these cool art stuff. But for the most part, though, it's I took it a different direction. I started teaching classes, and what we parted was that I didn't use the milliput. I used milliput as a type of way to finish up the artwork. I stayed with the masking tape and just continued to just decorate the masking tape itself. And incidentally, what's happened is because I started a whole industry with my family, and we've been making a business of it, not to mention museum visits and classroom settings and teaching. And we're inventing a new thing, which is going to be well, I can't really talk about it much until I figure out how to get it, but along the lines of just having more classes with adults, and nothing bad, just I know that adults need classes, adults need art, and they just really love this stuff. When they start working on it, start working with the masking tape, they just go crazy. So I think that's awesome because I just love the fact that it's you get a chance to actually do art with people, and that's something there that's very important and very significant. So. Because when the people who art together, they chill together, right? It's better to make art than war. That's what I always say. Actually, I never said that before. It's the first time I'm actually saying that. But if I was to say it a lot, it's better to make art than war. How's that? Okay? Because it's art, one life, must art, baby. But anyway, so yeah, so the thing was we were making monster hands. We were making some cool hands of monsters and creatures and stuff like that. That's what we were doing. And so this one, what I'm gonna do, he's almost done. I'm just gonna go around and just look for spots that I missed and messed up. I might have to wrap his foot again. His foot looks a little. He looks cool. It's just I put a spot right in his back right there. See, put it right there, just to break up the monotony. Right there, a little spot right in the back, dead center. He has a dead center. It's almost like a Holstein cow now. Yep, almost like a Holstein cow. Okay, so yeah, I'll tell you a story about that too. I used to work with cows a long time ago. We might have watched some of my videos and talked about how I did dairy farming. Well, it's true. I did dairy farming, and it was like I was going to become a veterinarian. And part of my thing culture was I had to go and work with it during the summer, working with large animals during the summer. That was my initiation into manhood. That was the summer I learned that you can do anything if you put your mind to it. Pretty much if you want to, because what happens is like that if you can survive that summer, you can survive anything. And that was working with cows. I'm a city boy, and I had to go work in the city, working not in the city but in the country, with people who weren't familiar with black people. It was weird. They weren't familiar. They were like, "Your hair is so woolly." I was like, "Can I touch your hair too?" Kind of thing. Oh my goodness. So anyway, so that was something there, and I learned a lot about myself. I learned that pretty much you can endure anything. By the grace of God, you can endure anything. But it's very tough. It's a very very tough job working with cows, working with cattle, and working with people. Who are not from the city. They were pretty cool. When they weren't being like ridiculous with their stupidity. But other than that, they were great people to work with, and I miss them. I haven't seen them in a long time, in many years. I was gonna take my family and go visit them and go see all the cows that were there when I was there are dead now, because cows only last for about maybe 6 years or something. Especially the way the cow industry works, the dairy industry works. Cows don't live that long.
It lasts longer in your belly.
I guess no, I don't think it lasts long in your belly either. I mean, after a couple of days, you poop that sucker out. So I mean, I don't think it lasts long. My son's over there in the back. But by the way, my son has his own art channel. His art channel is called Arsenal Productions.
Yes.
Arsenal Productions. And what happens? Arsenal Productions. Please like and subscribe to his channel. If you're looking at my stuff and you really enjoy it, please like and subscribe to my stuff as well. But more so to him. I'm trying to see if we can get him to monetization. Because once you get to monetization, you can do a lot more wonderful things, a lot more art, and you get your art paid for, and you get your stuff taken care of because you got people supporting you, and that's really cool. You got people supporting you in the art that you love, and that's nowhere in the history of the world has anybody been able to do that. So being able to take something that that was there and work on a search engine like YouTube and be able to make a huge difference. You can make all kind of stuff. So here I'm adding some more dots to him real quick. I'm probably gonna make that one dot because I don't like the way how it's just kind of just kind of all over the place. I'm just gonna make it in some kind of cool shape or something. Yeah, I'll do it that way. Yeah, there it goes. Yep. Here it goes. So now, yeah, it's the shape there. Okay. So what I'm gonna do with him, I'm gonna finish him up, finish up his arms, finish up his wrists, and all that too. And see, these guys are really, really cool. I mean, I have a bunch of them, and I just totally enjoy, making stuff with them because it's like this is just really, really cool art. And not to mention they're durable. When I was a kid, right? I might have mentioned this before, but when I went to my home country when I was 12 years old, and I made a gremlin because Gremlins 2 came out, and I was totally inspired by the Bat Gremlin. I thought it was so cool. And when he fought with Mr. Futterman, I thought it was so messed up. He got like totally like concreted to death. Which I was like, okay, well that's one way to beat him. If they can't, if they're not like sunlight, they're gonna beat him, right? And that was just one that got out. But it was like so messed up. It went after Mr. Futterman of all people, poor guy. Yeah, I mean, like he could have gone for anybody else. They would have like, oh, what is this? He went for him. I mean, did they sense his morality? I don't know. Oh, cool. My son Lucky, and he just showed me a cool Mario that he made. Oh, my hand. Oh, it's so hard to do this. Okay. So what do we have here? I'm holding by his mouth. See, I'm holding by his mouth, by his lip. By his lip. Hold you by your lip too if you talk too much. That's right. So hold you by your lip if you talk too much. There's this is here. This is pretty much almost done with this guy. I have to kind of go around and look at him again to see how he is, but there I gave him some more darker paint. I put him by his tail now, right? I've been holding him by his tail, so I'm gonna hold by his lip now. This is the damaged part right here. I'm gonna clip it. Oh man, it's the damaged part. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna have to like clip that part. I have to hold you under your neck right there. That. I'm gonna. Oh man, look how much paint there's. Yeah, there's a lot of paint right there. Alright, it's right there. The part where you have to like. It's just. Okay, so there it is. So you know how that is. Just keep it away from all your other fingers, you know. One thing I always hated was my fingers getting covered with stuff, because you know that means that you have to use your other fingers to get your hands uncovered. But if you have both set of fingers covered, you're in trouble. So right there's I'm gonna go put this little thing on this tail. Remember, these are not gremlins; these are gremlins. But the one I made when I went to my home country was the black gremlin. I used the garbage ties, the little white garbage tie things. I used those as the means to make it, and I covered it in velvet. So yeah, in fact, I'm gonna find him sometime. I don't know where he is. All my stuff has moved since childhood. I don't know where everything is. You know. Yeah, things have gotten like moved and thrown out and stuff. I got like Legos and stuff that I don't know where it is at this point. But the kids have all my Legos now. But all the ones that I know about at least. I know there's more Legos that I have somewhere that I just can't find. Taito, can you give me a scissor? I'm gonna cut this here. Thank you, sir. So this is where I was cutting. It's cutting right here. This little part right there. Cutting. So you can see that. This is the part I was actually cutting. Okay, so here you go, Taito. Thank you. Oh goodness. Arg. Arg. I just dropped it on the ground. Alright, so I just grabbed the paint on the, not the paint, but the, my lint. You know what you should do? Next time, me, and Greg, what you're gonna do, you're gonna put this into the paint bucket, okay? And get your hands free. That's what we're gonna do. Alright, so future self, remember, next time you watch this video, future self, just remember that. Get your hands free. I talk to my son like all the time. He says, you know, my son, my daughter, say, well, get your hands free, and then you can focus better. So, now my hands are all covered, and I don't know what to do. I have to just finish up this part here, and then take some of this paint here and finish up that part. Make it balanced as much as possible. Just as a challenge. And hold him at his face, because he's like that, you know. Ladies and gentlemen, it's like, so then this week I got a chance to teach, I taught, and then also this week I got a chance to visit some friends at their house. And one of the friends I got to visit, he just gave me such a blessing on Instagram that I'm just like so happy. It warmed my heart, you know, so much. And another friend of ours gave us some help with and it was just a blessing that the help that they gave us, you know. And I can't tell you their names, but I'll tell you that, you know, pretty much that they've been helping us, and you know, and he gave us a really nice Christmas card, which is great. And so we thank God for that, you know, for their input into our life. So I just want to say that. And yeah, so pretty much just this is just one. I'm trying to do both of these gremlins. I'm just not even finished with that croc duck yet. Croc duck. Just trying to finish them up. It's just that's the part right there. Okay. All right. So you're here. And so I made his mouth like all his tongue all black. So he's like a really scary looking. I think his eyes are too close. If you ask me, just a little too close. But you know what? It is what it is. All right. So anyone probably people trying to copy it, this work or whatever, just you have to copy it wrong. Okay. Alright, I made it so you have to copy it wrong. It is what it is. So let's see, there's that. Alright, so this one is there. Oh goodness, it's a long piece of string. Monkey. See what happened? You have, you know, again, I just learned that lesson, right? Take your hands free. No, I needed to get off the brush, so I have to put him down. Okay, put him down. And then take this little piece right here. And you are gone. Okay, good. Now I'm gonna go back in and finish this up. Where was it? Okay, yes, the little eyebrows. Eyebrows. Right there. Right there. You know, I usually don't paint the air like this, but I'm trying to show you guys what I'm doing. So it's like, I usually rest it, and you know, most artists do that. They rest their hand on something stable, and then from there they do the paint. So they can have it straight and as much as possible. You know, straight and as determined as possible. Here's this one. Okay, alright, cool. Cool. There. Cool. All right, so now let's talk about some DoorDash stuff, shall we? One thing I learned about DoorDash is that they are an interesting company, and I can't really talk more about that in terms of like what I know about them because I don't really know much about that company. I just know how it's been responsive to me in regards to how I've been driving as a driver. And one thing I've noticed is that it's if you don't accept orders, they put you on the back burner. It's like it's kind of one of those things where they're not sure what you're gonna do. There are many holidays coming up. For example, Christmas. Now, whether or not to drive on Christmas is a good or not, I'm not 100% sure. One thing I find is that when I used to work for my other job at the hardware store, what happened was like I found that at first it was like, you know what, let me just work on these days, and then it was like celebrate with my family on other days. But the way the world is, it's like they make everybody work so hard that you can't get a chance to spend time with your family like you want to if you want to spend time with your extended family, maybe your immediate family. And so the cool thing about my family is that I get a chance to spend with them a lot of time with them already, which I love. I thank God for that. And so we get to do a lot of cool things together. But when you're working like for a corporate thing, or you want to see your sisters or my dad or some people all together, you have to go on those special set apart holidays, Labor Days, Labor off days that you can actually choose to work, And I always wonder about that. The day after Thanksgiving is Black Friday, and then Black Friday is where people are just killing each other for stuff. So after being saying about how grateful they are, how grateful they are for everything they have, they go out and they pretty much go into murderous rage, trying to get the television set, that was marked up supremely that you can get for sale at the end of the year. You know, what a weird society we live in. A matter of like we can do so many things, but instead of it being like good, we kind of do selfish things. And that's what makes it crazy because you're not supposed to be so selfish. You're supposed to like help other people. You know, and then this holiday is just about all these different holidays are about being selfish or something. But I mean, not 100%. They're not supposed. That's not their initial. I mean, but maybe it was. I mean, this holiday was Christmas was. We know it's not the birth of Jesus. It was we know it's about Saturnalius and Asubis and Constantine and all these things and all this debauchery and things.
Mithras.
Yeah,
Mithras.
and Mithras and all that, and all these different people, and then they just kind of like tie it together. I mean, sometimes the worst corruption is corrupting the best thing. If you say gold is bad, and people say gold is a really good thing, and many people think that gold is bad, what happens is that gold, there's no coming back from that. Really, you have to really the Holy Spirit has to open people's eyes. Like when you talk about like Jesus, people always think the Catholic. Like for example, you have movies they always make fun of evangelicals in the movies when they always like uphold the Catholics and stuff like that, uphold the Catholics and things because they know they're gonna get backlash from the Catholics. That's why, but not so much from the evangelicals. But nevertheless, it's like they when they make a movie and they make something, they always have the priest is the good guy, the Baptist preacher is the bad guy. Why? Because they always say that the phonies, we do phonies, balonies, right? But I'm not Baptist, so I just want you to know that. Pretty much what happens is like I worked in the Baptist church for a number of years, about almost 10 years, and I learned something, about that. I learned a lot of things. I learned that I don't like working in churches. That's what I learned. So one day we'll talk more about that struggle at some point. But for the most part, though, I just right now I'm making some art here. So this here again, he's Croc, and I think he might be done. Might be done. See, painting for me is actually way harder to paint than it is to sculpt. Sculpting is cake, right? Painting is not cake. All right, so it is not the cake. So I'm gonna go ahead and work on him. On him. See what happened? He took a couple of hits, and I want to add some black to him, but he's just so cool the way he looks. He's a cool. He's got like eye. I put the eyeball sideways, and then he got his belly eyeball is upright. So, I guess don't get things in your chest, in your eyes, your chest eye. Yeah. Anyway, so that's one thing. I'm gonna just give him a paint over. I'm gonna get rid of this paintbrush here. I have my water right there. I'm gonna rest him right here for a second. Can you see him? He's probably good. Yeah, he's right here. Rest him there for a second, and I'm gonna get my hands clear. See, this paint is a really cool paint. It makes like a latexy type thing, But it's like I'm gonna switch my brush right now. All right, so there's that one. This is my brush. And here's my point. This one here is called Bloodline. As you can see, it's got a bloodline. FX Paint. FX Paint. Hobby Lobby, baby. Only place you got them. These, when I first got them, they were actually at Michael's, but at Michael's discontinued their connection with them. Don't know why. But for the most part, though, I'm glad that I actually have a connection with them, and I can actually continue to do this because. But the only problem is that nearest Hobby Lobby from us is either in Manhattan, which is a hike, and now they're gonna make that congestion pricing thing, which is gonna be a lot of fun. I hope that it comes to nothing. I really hope that that others will rally together and will fight against the whole thing of the system trying to knock us down by making us more oppressed, by giving us another bill to pay so they can fund foreign wars and all kind of stuff like that. We're supposed to be minding our own business. That's what government's supposed to do. It's called mind your own business, right? Take care of us citizens, and every tax goes back to us for war protection. Again, see, the thing is, like when the whole thing with the Federal Reserve Bank happened, it put us into war. It got us involved in perpetual wars. Okay, why? Because for some reason we had to police the world and also sabotage other countries of what they're trying to do, so they can become superpowers like us, right? Superpowers. Oh no! I just spilled red paint on my leg. Oh no! Okay. Okay, Taito. I need a baby wipe.
Okay, I'm on it.
Thank you, sir. Oh goodness, what is this? Alright, gonna fix you up there. I got red paint on my leg. Alright, let's see. Okay, hold this brush. Right there. Thank you, sir. I got red paint on my leg. Ooh, red paint on my leg. See, the thing is this, right? It's not so much the red paint on my leg. It's the fact that if you don't deal with thing real quick, what ends up happening, it hardens. But I mean, if it's latex, it might be a little different. But the thing is, you can also get in other stuff. So there it is with that. This is not blood. Not blood. This is not blood. This is paint. Okay? Remember I showed you red paint.
I promise.
I promise. So here goes. Thank you, sir. And that's all I need. Oh no, oh no, oh no, what's that? Oh no, there's red paint on this thing here. Oh goodness, red paint on this book.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get the red paint off the book. Get the red paint off my leg. Alright, alright. Let's go. Oh no, I got red paint on my arm. Oh no, red paint on my arm. Okay, so no, I don't got red paint on my arm. Okay, good. Ooh, that was close. Okay, red paint on my leg. Oh no, the table, it's broken. Okay, so here goes. Thank you. So this is there. Thank you, sir.
You're glad I'm here.
Thank you so much. My son and my assistant today. Remember, visit his channel. His channel is Artsenal Production. Artsenal. ARTSENAL. Senal Productions. Artsenal. Right? And what he does some really cool animations and stuff like that. So you go take a look, see what I'm talking about. Don't take my word for it. But I remember when that guy was cool. He got weird. Right? As a matter of fact, I think all actors are some kind of, put them in a category of weirdness because, I don't know, do they still have souls? Are they still people? Or just playing an acting role? Is that something they work out of you when you're an actor? You take your soul away? Who knows? I guess an actor would know. But what can you do about it? I guess he wants another gig, right? What about those old actors? There's so many actors in the world, But you think about it, how many actors possibly? Is it millions of actors? Or is it thousands of actors? When you think about it. There's millions of us. We, the working class. There it goes. I'm fixing him up there. See, so he had a little crack in his some of the parts there. So I'm just kind of giving him a once over with the paints. Ladies and gentlemen, all right, I'm gonna finish this one here. I thought about actually doing like a sculpting type thing, but it's one of those days. Everybody's just celebrating that today, so I guess getting ready for the big Christmas holiday. It's like I want to thank God for life. I want to thank God for just my family and my family helping me with my art. So we go out together when we do art stuff, and so it's one of those things where as we're doing this, we're getting better and better as a family and working together, which is how it should be. According to the Bible, you're supposed to when you wake up with your family. When you wake up, you teach them in the fields. You teach them, and so it's kind of hard to do that when you're chasing a car or chasing the house or having to pay a mortgage, a really big one. What happens is you gotta stay within your means. And then, but definitely don't sacrifice your children to the government. Don't sacrifice your kids to government or to the government programs, just so you can get that car. Because you really think about it, what are you doing, right? You get that car, you lose your child, or you get that car and you lose your sanity, you lose your, You're talking about this thing here's a controversial subject for you. If people talked about the whole thing of women working and stuff like that, It's like, it's you can actually, I mean, women can work all they want. I just give you my opinion when I think about that. At first, I was like, I grew up in a place where my sisters and stuff, they were like, they're looking for a job and looking to get out and stuff. So they look for work and things. And same here. I work too because I got bills to pay. But for the most part, though, it's like, um, I think the whole thing about working became a construct where a man and man and woman, when they're married, they have a certain kind of like a formidable opponency against this world. You're able to actually take on this world when you're a unit, right? Now, when you have to go and work for somebody else, like somebody else is your boss, somebody else is your boss, and your wife has to work and submit to some other dude. That's kind of a tough thing because you have it where it's another person that kind of outranks you. Like you never watched Serenity. There's a part in the Firefly where he's like, I'm your husband. He's the captain, but I'm your husband, kind of thing. And so we need to go spend time together, but no, we're constantly having to do all these assignments, these dangerous assignments. He was sent, Mel was bringing Zoe into all these very difficult assignments, And so what happens is like, and then Wash was like, hey, I'm going to go on this mission with you, and you stay here. And so it was one of those things where he got tortured by Niska, in that episode, and that was very crazy for me. I don't like torture stuff. I think torture stuff is, you can endure anything, but torture, yeah, you can endure that too. But who wants to know if they can or not? Anyway, so the whole thing that was something there. So the point was, what I found was interesting was that you are you make a promise to love and protect your wife and your children. Your wife first before you have your kids, and when you do a marriage vow. And then so when you have another person come along and you can make money with them or whatever, that person kind of puts the situation where you're kind of like you're they're another person providing for you, or you're providing for themselves. Now, I mean, the way the society is, everything was once cheaper before. You had a thing where people would go to work and they'd be home before 2 o'clock, and they'd be able to buy a big old house and have a car and all that stuff. Was because the way it was when America was younger, or when it was before the whole tax thing got a hold of it, the tax monster and the Federal Reserve got a hold. What ended up happening was they just totally made everything more expensive. And then when you get like women into the workforce, women in the workforce is the other half of society. Not saying that it's not good for women to work. It's like women can do whatever they want. The bottom line was that when it came down to the society, it means that they can get twice more taxes from twice more people if they get everybody to work. If you can only get one set of people to work, then you're gonna have to get less in taxes, and that beast doesn't get satisfied, or the beast will have to get satisfied in what it's given. But if, for example, you go to you have more people working, it says when you fill out a tax form, you don't have to be male or female. You just you just pretty much you just go out there and you do your you work, and you feed that beast, you feed that tax monster, right? So the tax monster, what happens is that he gets happy and they want more, always wants more. I made a video on my Instagram and I put it on TikTok and also on Facebook about like how the monster of tax is it's called tax toll booth city, and it's like the Diplocalis is delivering to toll booth city, and every single step of the way is a tax, and we're not supposed to have had this much tax. Tax was only related to war, but because the fact that they actually went out and started becoming the warmongers of the world. I think warmongers, because probably warmongers is what it actually is the word warmongers. It came from Short Circuit. The lady in Short Circuit said that, Stephanie, she said, you fellow warmongers, when she was talking to Colin about Johnny Five, to kind of bring him back in, I realized he's from, anyway, long story short, it was one of those things where, she used that word warmonger, but in the Bible it's whoremongers, and whoremongers is pretty much what happens when people pimp themselves out or to give their bodies over to another as a person on the basis of money. And so it's kind of like a scary thing, when you think about it, what people are actually willing to do to make money. My light's going to go out soon, but what happens is that people are willing to do all kind of things to make some money, and that's what's crazy because it's the way society is. And the more stuff we get, I was talking to a family member the other day, and we were talking about values and about rearing children and stuff. And I think what's important about rearing children is that children are supposed to take your values and take it to the next generation. It's not just about feeding them and taking and clothing them and giving them education. It's about your values. So when you homeschool your kids or you spend time with your kids, the kids learn about who you are as a person. They get to be with you, get the chance to be with them, and it's like a relationship that many of us didn't have with our parents. Like I mean, I had my mom and my dad, but it was like, and pretty much that's one of those things where like in terms of like how it works out. You see, most black kids, they don't have their mom and dad growing up, and they have a world of hurt because of it. But praise God, I didn't have my mom and my dad when I grew up, and some of the things that I went to school, but when we put our we learned that there's an aspect of a camaraderie and friendship and togetherness that's way better than I had it with my parents. And I mean, it's just way better all out. So I hope that one of the values that we hope we pass on to our kids is that they too will do homeschool as well, and that they homeschool their children. Not to mention that they will teach them about things of the Lord, and that their love for Jesus will continue to grow. Because I mean, that's one of those things where, when you think about life, I mean, you want to tell people about the most important things. And that's why I got into ministry, by the way. I got into ministry because I figured ministry was the most important thing. And then I realized that the church is a game. But, the Bible's not a game. Jesus is not a game. But I found that the church business is a game. And it's sad because, many people are destroyed because of that. And that's something there, I mean, whatever you chance you get to listen to the video or whatever you're listening to, it's one of those things where, as I was learning, I learned that there's sometimes the worst kind of corruption is when you corrupt something that's really supposed to be good for you. Like, for example, like dandelions. You see dandelions is a weed, but it's actually one of the best foods for you. Go figure. Who told us that? Well, the companies who sponsor bills and who pass and put information out there to give us this information. And so instead of us learning what's good for us to eat and to partake of, we learn the bad stuff. We learn what to be afraid of. So like the whole thing with the the bug, the bug we just had. Oh, we learned lessons on that. Let me tell you. They can make people hate each other on words, not even truths, just words. So yeah. So next thing, what I want to do, I'm gonna bring out Argus real quick so you see him. So here's Argus, and Argus pretty much just want to say hi, hi everybody. So he's probably one of my most famous gremlins at this point, because what happens is that I've taken him everywhere with me, and people have seen him, and they really like him. They really enjoy him because it's just his colors, I guess, color schemes, color scheme, and the way his palette is just really a warm palette. It's like McDonald's fries, or something like that. I don't know, just kind of warm colors. And he glows in the dark too. He glows in the black light. So he's really cool, and he's very flexible and durable. So he's always like blah, 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 kind of thing like that, and just yeah. So yeah, there he is. Okay, what else we got? We got my Murder Hunter Gremlin, which is like one of my favorites too. I like the way he is because he's a unique creature. I should do something with his wings. I should give him a paint for his wings. Let me take a look. See, his wings need some. See, his wings are like that and extend so much, but it's just one of those. His wings are that. Second set of wings, 2 sets of wings. I probably should give him a paint job, but I don't know. I just want to give him a really cool paint one. I put a couple of little things on him. If you can see right here, you can see that he has like a little bit of some glue, but I mean the tape itself can hold. Its own weight. So again, so this is really cool. So you have that, and you have this his cool antenna. I love the antenna part. That's my favorite part. His eyebrows are antennas. Yep. Okay. With that, let's see. I think I might go ahead and call it a night and go drive some DoorDash. I was gonna work on a xenomorph actually, but I figured, let me not do that. Where's my xenomorph? I had it here a minute ago. Where are you, xenomorph? Oh, here you are. Okay, here it is. Here's the xenomorph right here. This one here. In the process of working on it. See, it's got some work needs to be done. And so, not to belabor point, I'm just gonna go ahead and start wrapping up because I have to go drive. It's almost 8 o'clock. It's an opportunity for make some green paper tonight before the Monday when they give us an extra for driving all weekend. So anyway, so I just want to say thank you so much for watching with me as I talked about a little bit of my life. Today is George, and she's one of my good friends. So one of my friends that I went to Bible school with. Anyway, long story short, she went down to glory. She had seizures, and it was very stressful because it happened here. That was very sad. But for the most part, I just want to say thank you so much for listening. Those of you who listened and got through my first kind of hiccup with the first part of it. But yeah, definitely, if you want money, if you want your food, definitely tip your drivers. Please like and subscribe to our channel. Like and subscribe to our channel because every driver who drives out there, they get money based upon the money, not the tip. Okay, the tip doesn't help them. The tip is there, but it's not the base pay. So what happened? The base pay, if it's $2 and they round it up, active time, that's something there. It works out really well. Unfortunately, if you don't give a tip, the tip actually just works. It doesn't help us, okay, if you don't give us a tip. So thank you so much for tipping and for helping and being a kind human being as opposed to being a weird one because you don't order people to get food. So just remember, a person who goes out and they risk their life just to give you some food, by the grace of God, just please respect them with a tip. All right. So God bless you. Talk to you soon. All right. I wish you all the best. Have a good night. All right.